Bitcoin will bump towards $87,000, liquidate $1 billion, and then dump towards $77,000. Am I just crazy, or is this really gonna happen? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is someone from My Crypto Paradise. In the previous video, one day ago, I've told you that Bitcoin will go towards $86,000. As you can see, we have just bumped by around 8% and we are reaching our target zone. But is this gonna really work as a proper resistance, or we will go a little bit higher? We will analyze that in today's video, and we will start by looking at ultra high time frame. As you know from the previous videos, since January right here, I have been calling that Bitcoin is about to crash. I've told you whales are secretly distributing, alright? And I've told you that in a zigzag formation we will reach $44,000, and in between of this deep correction we will have one bullish pullback. And in today's video I will explain to you why I believe that we are already starting this first wave that is against the main trend. The main trend right now is bearish. This pullback henceforth is correcting the main trend. And if you are in our MCP Free University, you already know that I believe that this reactionary B wave will take a form of a zigzag itself. So right now we are in a higher degree zigzag corrective wave where the C wave I believe will finish at $44,000. And by looking at the lower degree subwaves, we can see that the B wave itself is taking a form of a corrective mode wave, and I do believe that it's going to be a zigzag formation where this A wave is recently being finished and we are about to have a corrective B wave towards $77,000, and then we will have another impulse towards $90,000 to $93,000. Well, and then we will have the continuation of the larger trend towards $44,000. And speaking about the $44,000, you do remember that if I am wrong in this prediction, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 and delete this channel. I've not been exactly clear how to participate in this potential giveaway of $10,000. So one more time, who wants to participate in this potential giveaway? Under this video, answer on the question, what is the most important thing in long-term profitable professional trading, in this comment section, okay, under this video that I've recorded 3 days ago, and also include if the potential price should be redistributed between everybody who commented or just between the one account who got the most of the likes on his comment, okay? So we will calculate that with the Paradise team afterwards. If I'm wrong with this prediction, first of all, how many people voted for the redistribution, how many for only one account, and then we will see who has the most of the likes, or gather all of these comments and then write you a message to take away the prize. So that's just about that. Trevor is for sure waiting for that. Since $109,000 he was calling for $160,000, and he will get it. He might be in a minus right now, but he will potentially get it, ladies and gentlemen, and I will explain to you why. Because if I am correct and we are going towards $44,000, this is going to be just a higher degree corrective secondary wave. Let me show you what I mean. This is the impulse where we have been accumulating Bitcoin and being aggressive bulls all the way up towards $109,000. Here we shifted bearish, right? And this is the second corrective wave. After that, we will have a third higher degree grand supercycle impulse that will take us towards $240,000, ladies and gentlemen. So even though Trevor might have a bad entry, he might potentially make some profit if he will be able to keep holding. But as you know from the previous videos, the market behavior doesn't let you make some profit so easily, right? So once we start going down, here the mass media, the social media, all the crypto influencers that tell you right now that we are going to the moon, here they will be talking about finally getting into a bear market. And this is going to be one more time the chance for us Paradisers to keep accumulating Bitcoin heavily towards the new impulse, the same way as we have been doing it together, you and me, at $19,500. If you are in Paradise Family VIP, you are getting from me and from the Paradise team exact entry and exit targets. But with these kind of videos, I do believe, based on your feedback that I'm getting from you, and I absolutely loving it, that it's helping you to make a better trading decisions by itself. And right now let's zoom in inside of this price action and let's take a look at high time frame chart. So why am I saying that we are with the highest probability very soon going for a retest towards $77,000? Let's take a look. So first of all, what is bearish in this chart? You probably see it as well already. We are going up with the price right here. As you can see, we are having higher lows and higher highs. However, the volume is decreasing, right? So this is a clear divergence, and it suggests that the money that are pushing right now the price to the upside are not some big money, right? Most of the time when these kind of divergences are happening on the volume and price, it means that retail is driving the price action to the upside, and that's usually not really sustainable and ends up with some kind of blow off top and then a reversal very soon. Another bearish sign is the fact that we are having a bearish divergence on our MACD indicator as well. As you can see, the histogram is making higher high, however the price without the wick is making equal high. If we count in the wick, it's making lower high. So again, this is bearish because we can see the momentum is there, right? But the volume is lacking and the price action as well. What does it mean? Somebody is distributing on this price action to the upside, and the money that are pushing the price to the upside are not some smart money. It's not the whales who is pushing right now the price up. It's probably retail, and we can actually confirm that by looking at some insider data, for example, right here on our website. So first of all, what do we see? The fear and greed index, and we can see that on a daily time frame we are right now at the zone of 60 that previously worked as a topping signal for many times. As you can see, since 2025 it always worked as a top signal. Right here from $98,000 we have dropped towards $92,000. Right here from $104,000 then we dropped towards around $97,000, etc. Right? So this is really working as a great indication of the current sentiment. Obviously, what is better to see is neutral fear and greed index, or even fear and prices going up. What does it mean? That it means that basically the retail will come later and will be able to push the price higher, right? But right now we are overbought, there's nobody else to buy. Whales will obviously not be buying and helping retail to make profits, right? So the bigger probability, thanks to this indicator, we understand, is that we will have some blow off top and reversal very soon. If we choose 4-hour time frame right now and switch to our social index, we can also see that on social index right here we are at our magical number 60, and we are even exceeding that already. And as you know from the previous videos, the social index on our website MyCryptoParadise.com showing you the beautiful cyclical development of the social index, and you can see from the previous 1 month the 60 points also on social index working beautifully as a topping signal, okay, for many times, and right now we are back there. So this is just confirming that probably the current price action is driven by some crypto noobs, right? We can also see what the whales are doing, and we can see that on the order book suit there is going on a big distribution. So that's just confirming why we have the divergences on the volume and on the oscillators, like I have shared with you the MACD, right? Also, if we take a look at other oscillator RSI, we can also see that we are overbought on there. It worked this 50 points as a topping signal for many times before. Right here, as you can see, we have been at this level. Right now we are at this level once again. Right here, as you can see, after that we have dropped. Right here we have also dropped afterwards. Let me show you right here. Then we have dropped, and right now we are back here. We are again here. We are also at our moderate resistance, $85,000. So I believe that we will soon see a crash as well. But we are waiting for confirmations, of course, right? Because we understand how cheeky the market can be for the inexperienced traders. And because you and me, we are not inexperienced traders, we are professional traders, we need to be very cautious about all of the possibilities in the market that can happen in order for us to be able to keep making money long term. And I'm talking about years, not just months, not just weeks. I want all of you to be profitable for years, and that's why it's important before you start doing some trading, before you enter a trade, to wait for a proper confirmations, understand the context of the market, and then execute your trade ideas like a sniper. So the context, the current context in the market is that the price action is very volatile right? We can see that the liquidity is not in the market, so that's why we can have these kind of wicks, and that can get us from the positions very easily if we are not playing the market smart with a strategy and with a tactics that most of the other traders don't have. And because we want to be dominating the market, we need to have a better tactics and better strategies than other traders. So right now, a similar wick out before we start going to the downside like we had right here in beginning of April can very much happen. Also because we understand there is loads of liquidity above us, right? I've shared that with you in the intro, and right here in the liquidation heat map we can also see that still above us there is still a liquidity that is finishing slightly above $87,000. As you can see, this bright spot right here will be with the highest probability taken out because this is very juicy, right? And it's really profitable for the whales before going to the downside towards this liquidity to take out this $1 billion worth of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. So they don't need to take it out. Sometimes they are leaving it there. It really depends on the order books, how much of a sell walls are slightly below these liquidation levels, how much some other traders defending their short positions, etc. Right? This is everything what we monitor with the Paradise team, and that's how we can make always consistently the best trading decisions possible. So it's very important to monitor that and understanding the context, right? Because the whales want to get rid of the short positions before going to the other side, right? And here, as you can see, if we start hitting that $77,000, we will liquidate around $2.5 billion. That's so much better than going further towards 88, 89, etc. right? So the whales, to have the smooth ride to the downside, first needs to liquidate the short positions. Why? Because if they would not get rid of the short positions and they would just start dropping the price like from here, for example, the short positions would start to take profit, right? And once a short position is closed, it basically creates a long contract. So that would start pushing the price up, and it would be hard for the big boys to make money, because if you are trading with millions and millions of dollars, you need a liquidity, right? And these crypto noobs short positions would be destroying your system, right? You would have a pretty hard time to start taking profit because they would be vaporizing the liquidity from there. So this is why it's important to understand where are the liquidation levels and how to react to them and play with your strategy based on understanding when they currently are. Alright, back to the price action right now. So just from the basic point of view, I just believe that we are right now about to have some kind of a similar wick out like we had right here in April, and after that we will start crashing to the downside and we will revisit around $77,000. So basically the price action from the basic point of view should look like something like this. Let me show you. After we have completed the 5-wave impulse to the downside, which is basically the A wave of our zigzag right here, right? So let me calculate the waves for you. From here we have started the final 5th wave of the zigzag, right? And you know that we have been conspirating between $72,000 right now because of how the price development of this first wave happened. I've concluded that this was probably it. This whole move to the downside was the A wave, and this 5th wave was actually with a 5th smaller wave truncated. So this was the first wave, 2nd wave right here, then 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave was truncated right here, ended up at around $74,000, just $2,000 short from our potential $72,000. And right now I believe that we are starting the first A wave of the higher degree B wave, reactionary corrective wave. So let's zoom in right now. Let's go a little bit deeper into the price action. So right now we are looking at 4-hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen. And what can we see here on our MACD indicator is the same thing. We are having a bearish divergence on a lower time frame as well. As you can see, the price action is having a higher high. The MACD histogram is making lower high. If you are in our MCP free university, you know exactly what this means, because this is a classic strong bearish divergence when the price is making a higher high but the indicator is making lower high. On the medium time frame, it means that the momentum is decreasing and the bulls are losing strength. Together with that, we are having a prolonged period of stochastic RSI being in the overbought zone. So that is bearish as well as the fact that we have the divergence on the volume as well. As you can see, as we are grinding to the upside, the volume is decreasing, and that's just increasing the probabilities that we don't have enough power to continue, right? So probably we will get stopped right here at our resistance around that $87,000. There is our ascending trend line that is being as a resistance. There is our Fibonacci retracement levels. There is a huge structural resistance from the previous price action, ladies and gentlemen. So loads of confluences, that means loads of supply powers that will resist the price from going further without correcting towards $77,000 first. So here I have already prepared that we will probably have the end of the B wave that will be forming itself probably in a zigzag formation. So this is the smaller degree A wave, then this is the B wave, and this is going to be the C wave that will finish at around $90,000 to $93,000. So this smaller B wave is also reactionary to the major trend of this larger higher degree B wave, right? So it's made out of corrective wave mode. So it can either be a zigzag, it can be a triangle, flat, double zigzag, some of these, yeah? And based on being able to understand as soon as possible which pattern it is, it can again help you to make better trading decisions, targets, entries, etc., right? So this is very cool. So I do believe that we will start moving towards this level in a zigzag formation, but it can be either zigzag or double zigzag because it's gonna be some deep correction, right? So it cannot be flat or a triangle, which are just shallow corrections. This will go deep inside of this previous end of the A wave of this impulse. So I believe it can go in a zigzag formation. So something like this, I believe, might be the correct way of understanding the upcoming price action. Obviously, with the Paradise team in Paradise Simul VIP, we are monitoring the price action closely and we are waiting for a proper confirmations to go aggressively into short positions. So right now we are waiting for confirmations. Once we have them, we will be driving the waves with the whales absolutely amazingly. It will be around 12% possibility of having a nice take profit target. And again, because you understand that we are above these huge resistances that will be very close to the entry zone, you can create a beautiful risk to reward trade, and we will be doing exactly that as we always do, because only great risk to reward trades can make you long-term profitable. All right, let's zoom in inside of this price action, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at our low time frame. You remember from the previous video, I've told you that right here, from right here, there is a highest probability that we will start moving to the upside towards this section that I have circled right here. This is minor resistance, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, we are attacking that already. We are right now up by around 9%. We are aggressive bears, but pools had some nice relief as well, and we have been expecting that. But basically, because we understand the dynamics from the larger trend of the market, since that $109,000, we are just making more money as a bears because the bearish strategies are just more profitable. Since $19,500, however, we have been just fully bullish, and you know that if you have been in Paradise VIP, you know that we have been absolutely crushing it as bulls. And right now we are changing our strategy. Since $109,000, we have changed into bears, and we are just making more money as a bears, and we will be doing so until $44,000. So right now, taking a look at the impulse we are having right now, you know, from the previous video, this was the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and right now we are starting a fifth wave, extended fifth, I mean, because the classic fifth wave moves already finished right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, this was a running flat, fourth wave, and then fifth right here. So this was the fifth, but because we have an extended fifth, because we didn't have an extended third wave right here, it was a very simple third wave, we need to get 5 more waves to the upside. So I believe that after calculating this as a first wave, this as a second wave, right now we are attacking this resistance as a third wave, we will have one more pullback towards $84,000, and then a final fifth wave that might be truncated, all right, but with the highest possibility, I believe that we will wick out towards this resistance, which will nicely confluence with that $87,000 prediction, and then we will continue down towards $77,000, ladies and gentlemen. But it can happen like this also, you know, like it depends on the confirmations. Basically, once we see some big boys really going heavy and we will see that there is no other option than to go down, we will start going aggressively with Paradise VIPs. Also, for another confirmations, we are using USDT dominance, and as you know, right now now the USDT dominance is bearish. That's why Bitcoin and crypto have some pump reliefs, right? We've been talking about that. And if the USDT dominance starts going into a bullish price action, the crypto will be going bearish. It's just basically cyclical flow of the money in the crypto market. And right now we can see, unlike Bitcoin that is at resistance, USDT dominance is revisiting its support zone and actually finishing an ABC. Since this truncated fifth, it's ABC corrective mode wave, right? And the C seems to be finishing right here at a beautiful 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level, ladies and gentlemen. We are already having a bullish divergence right here, so we are just waiting for another 4-hour candle to close to see how well we are reacting towards the support zone. Well, and it's gonna be nicely helping us to understand where we are heading next. And once we start going to the upside, it will be a big pressure towards Bitcoin, and I believe that the USDT dominance will finish its move at around this level. This is beautiful 6.6%, ladies and gentlemen, and that will nicely confluence with around $77,000 on Bitcoin. It might be lower, it might be higher, it really depends on the price action, and I will be updating you as much as possible. As you know, I'm recording for you videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. I will keep doing so 4 months, right? If we will not hit that $44,000, that's it for me. But until then, I hope you have enjoyed the analysis. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, don't share this video with your enemies, you would be just helping them, don't do that. And I will see you next time. Cheers.